I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. That hymn, titled In the Garden, was written by the early 20th century hymn writer C. Austin Miles. Miles was contemplating John chapter 20 and the story about Mary Magdalene going to the garden tomb very early in the morning when he wrote that hymn. And that's what I would like for us to do just for a few minutes here this afternoon, is to contemplate John chapter 20. The Bible tells us there that Mary, very early in the morning, Mary Magdalene, got up, took spices to anoint the body of Jesus, and she went to the tomb. And when she got there, the tomb was empty. The stone that had been across the entrance was pushed away from it, and the body was gone. And so she ran back to the apostles. She told Peter and John what she had seen. Peter and John run to the garden tomb. John gets there first. He's afraid to go in, so he stands there at the door and he looks in. But when Peter gets there, he rushes right in. And he sees the shroud laying there. He sees the napkin that had been around Jesus' head lying there, but nobody was there. The Bible says they didn't know what to think. They didn't know whether to believe or to doubt. But John's gospel does tell us that they still didn't understand from the scriptures that Jesus had to raise from the dead. Even though the Bible doesn't tell us when Mary got there, we do know that after the apostles left to go back to where they were staying, Mary was there alone. And she was sitting outside the tomb, and she was crying. She finally looks inside the tomb, and she sees two angels dressed in white, one sitting at the head and one sitting at the foot of where the body of Jesus would have been. And they asked her, "Why are you crying?" She said, "They've taken my master, and I don't know where they've put him." Then Mary turned around and she sees Jesus. And she doesn't recognize him. She thinks he's the gardener. And he asks her the same question, "Why are you crying?" And she gives the same answer. "They've taken my Lord, and I don't know where they put him. If you've taken him somewhere, would you tell me where, and I'll go get him?" Then Jesus said to her, "Mary." He called her by name. And when he did, she turned around and she looked him in the eyes. And she says, "Rabboni," or teacher. Jesus tells her, "Mary, don't hold on to me. because I am going back to my Father and to your Father. I'm going back to my God and to your God. What I want you to do is to go tell my brothers that I'm going back to my Father and to your Father and to my God and to your God. And the scriptures tells us that she did. She left and she went right straight to the apostles and she told them, I have seen the Lord. I want us for a few minutes to think about Mary and those apostles. They were in a hurry to begin with. Mary left the tomb and ran. The apostles ran to the tomb. And then after they saw the tomb, they left the tomb. But Mary stayed there. And she had an encounter with the risen Lord. Sometimes I think we get in too big of a hurry. We rush around to the job, we go to the store, there's all kinds of stuff to do, taking care of kids and grandkids. And sometimes we just need to take time and commune with God. If it's in a garden, that's a wonderful thing, but it can be in our own prayer closets. We need to spend time letting God speak to us through His Word. By reading His Word, by listening to His Word, and by talking to Him and unburdening our hearts. Then we too can say, and He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me, I am His own. And the joys we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. God bless.